Hey guys, Chris here, and Merry Christmas to my viewers. Today is December 25th, and I wanted to um, do a different video today. This is going to be top 5 Ukraine wins for this year. And so let's get to it. Before I begin, again, Merry Christmas. Enjoy the time with your family and friends if you celebrate it, and enjoy unraveling all these gifts below the tree. Number one is that the past 10 months, there's been a rapid acceleration in filtering away all the people that held Ukraine back. And we've seen that obviously there will be no more place for old and corrupt politicians, no more place for pro Russian collaborators within Ukraine that spied and collaborated with the Russian army and the thieves and also the religion institution of the Moscow Patriarchate that has been also helping in this war effort and not even denouncing this battle that is ongoing. So this is really important. It gave also the ability to really accelerate the process even more. It was already happening from 2014, but getting rid of all the imperialistic and ex-Soviet era symbols, right? The statues of Lenin and Stalin, of Pushkin, of Catherine the Great, Peter the Great, these are people that really oppressed the Ukrainian people specifically, but also the Baltics. The Baltics have also started really rapid acceleration of just getting rid of everything that's Soviet era. So that's really, really huge win. And it strengthened the Ukrainian patriotism, which is really good. So number two is also the rapid modernization of the Ukrainian army. It was a huge win for this year. Thousands of Ukrainian soldiers are being trained by NATO standards across different countries. The Ukrainian army has become one of the most diversified armies in the world. It's capable of using both Soviet and NATO weapons to its advantage. It's also one of the first large scale, first time of successful use of drone warfare in a large scale um, playing field against a huge enemy like Russia. So we've seen the Bayraktars, the two Pilev 141s, the unmanned surface vessels they're being used against the Russian Navy in the Black Sea, Sevastopol, Novorossiysk in Russia, and the use of commercial drones such as the DJI Mavic Pro that are constantly being used on the front lines. So that's a huge win as well. That it's proven it proved that drones are definitely the future and they can be very effective. And also the adaptability of the Ukraine army was a huge win as well. That or a point that helped for this. The conversion of the AGM-88 HARM missiles to the MiG-29s was a huge thing, right? You have a Soviet era jet fighter and a rather modern era missile, and how do you put it together to function? That's, the Ukrainian way. It's being capable of adapting at any situation and just quickly learning foreign weapons. The Ukrainians are going to train in Germany to learn about the Panzerhaubitze 2000 or the Gepards, how to use it. They've shown the commitment to do that. Number three, it's also reminding the free world about the values of democracy and freedom that it seems like we forgot, right? The last time it was really challenged on a massive global scale, I truly believe was World War II, right? The amount of destruction and death that occurred there was a time where people understood the sacrifices necessary for freedom and they fought for it. And we've kind of forgotten about it because most of us didn't live through that. So Ukraine showed how important it is to fight again against an enemy that wants to take away all of your freedoms and everything you know as well. That's super important, and I think that a lot of us understood that. And Ukraine's resolve also helped unify and strengthen partnerships between Western countries. And it also hopefully will influence the liberation of many I made a mistake here, occupied territories by Russia, such as Transnistria, Chechnya, South Ossetia, and obviously Belarus with its, dictator Lukashenko, that is an ally of Putin. So that is really huge win for Ukraine. Number four, that was expected. It's really exposing Russia. It's exposing them as well as an evil power that is very comparable to Nazi Germany. Perhaps not the scale of destruction yet, but they're very comparable in their ways. And really, it's a huge win to be able to show to the world, and even for me to show to the world what the Russian army is all about is really important. It's a huge win that the Ukrainians managed to do that. It's a successful propaganda, I should say, um, win for Ukraine. I would say it's not really propaganda, but a media win for Ukraine. And so in my bullet points here, I wrote that Russia is slowly collapsing. And Putin's corrupt system is fueled by theft and deceit that has holed out the Russian military and left, also the Russian society cynical. So the Russian state television features bloodthirsty commentators, while thousands of Russian young men flee the country to avoid military service, right? And this only isolates Russia further. And it also exposed Russia that it's really stuck in an imperialist Soviet era mentality that lacks critical thinking. And because it's been historically suppressed for centuries, either through the current Russian government to the Soviet Union that lasted decades to previously the Russian Empire that had, politics of pretty much slavery through the serfdom. And obviously, when you're historically suppressed like that, it's really takes a long process for revolutions to unravel. And I think it's going to happen. And I have to put my hats off to the Russian people that are currently really fighting against this. Either through protests, to sabotage of military infrastructure. They're trying to do something about it, and I think that we need to respect that. But unfortunately, they're not the majority yet. So that is really important. And last point I wanted to talk about is that Ukraine showed that it belongs among the top countries of the world. We can see here, Times Magazine had a huge publication recently about declaring the person of the year, Zelensky, and also the spirit of Ukraine, and also a feature about the general Zaluzhny, who was recognized as one of the top generals, and he truly believes a lot of credit the way that he conducted three successful offensives in Kiev, in Kherson, Kharkiv. They've been super successful, and this has shown to me that there's no doubt that Ukraine will win this battle just because of the way that it conducted these operations. Is everything perfect? No. There are losses, there are small strategic losses on the Ukrainian side, but overall, Ukraine has shown the last few months that it's capable of taking back territory, and that was really important. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking to you about this, guys. And what is also important for proving that is that Ukraine, I'm very certain of it, but Ukrainians will ensure that they will rebuild the country once this war is won by the Ukrainians in a way that is going to strengthen the political, the military, and the economic institutions that will help also influence other countries to strengthen their institutions, like Belarus and other countries around the world as well. So that is going to be very important, but I think that Ukraine has the potential to do that. So that's it, guys. That's my top five. Let me know if I missed anything. There's much more I could discuss, but I just wanted to make a quick video about that because we are ending the end of the year. And again, please, if you enjoy my channel, subscribe to it and leave me a comment about what you think were the top five wins for Ukraine for this year, or at least in the last 10 months since the war started. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.